while I was preparing a list of all the videos that I want to make for all of you, I was thinking to make something that is iconic, something that everyone loves. The children, the younger children, the old ones. So it came to my mind, Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse. I think they're really nice, they're really iconic, and everyone loves them. In fact, a few years ago, I think 4 years ago, yes, because my nephew is today 5, and when he was 1, he really wanted a Mickey Mouse cake. So I mean, and everyone loved it. I've seen it many times, and I've made also Minnie Mouse, I think more times than Mickey Mouse. Everyone really loves them, and they're really evergreen. So I really hope to be useful for someone today, but maybe for someone as well next year or in 2 years' time. And if you're here, I guess you're one of us too. So let's have a look of how to make them too, as I try to make them as simple as possible and very easily. So let's have a look how to make them. First of all, let's start making Mickey Mouse shoes. And to make the first shoe, we're going to make a kind of drop. And you want to roll in the middle, but on one part is going to be smaller and the other part is going to be quite big. Then we're going to take a small ball, press in a little bit, and then put it on the shoe. And with the ball tool, we're going to make a hole inside of it. And this is going to help us put the leg afterwards. To make the legs, we're going to need 2 cocktail sticks, one small and the other one quite taller, because this tall one is going to support the whole body. The first thing that we need to do is to damp the cocktail stick, so that the fondant will stick much better on the cocktail stick. Then we're going to insert our black ball, and then we're going to roll it. And if you do it with your fingers, it's even better, because the fondant will be able to stick even better to the stick. And to make it even nicer and even, we're going to roll it with a smoother as well. Now we can put our shoes on our dummy, and then we can insert our 2 legs. To make the pants, first of all, we're going to make an oval, and then we're gonna press a little bit. Then with our pinky, we're going to make the tummy line. And then we're going to get rid of a triangle in the middle of the pants. Then cut a straight line for both legs. And with a ball tool, we need to make a hole inside of each leg as well. With our fingers, we need to make this part a little bit thinner. At the top of the pants, first of all, we're going to cut it so we have a straight line. And with the ball tool, we're going to make some room for the body afterwards. And again, make it all nice and thinner all around it. If the pants legs are not straight, you might want to cut them. And the same you can do at the top as well. With the leaf shaper, we're going to give more room between the legs. Now we need to cut the top of the legs so that they have the same length. And then really carefully we can insert our pants. Once our pants are inserted and we're happy with it, we can add some creases at the bottom of the pants, just right at the tummy line. To make Mickey Mouse body, we're going to use some black modeling paste. Then we want to roll a little bit in a kind of drop, not too much, and then press it with the palm of your right hand. So flat, a little bit at the top of Mickey Mouse body, and a little bit at the bottom as well. And then we can insert the body onto the long cocktail stick. As always, very gentle. And then let's press the pants all around. The last thing that we need to add to Mickey Mouse pants are 2 ovals of white modeling paste on each side at the top of his pants. Now let's move on making Mickey Mouse head. And the shape, it is almost an oval, but it is a little bit squashed on each side, and then let's press it at the top as well. And then to make the actual face, we're going to need to roll some flesh fondant. Let's cut a heart from it as well. And then we can put it on top of the head. Now all the cookie cutter that I have are too small or too big, so I've used a slightly smaller one, and with my fingers I'm going to press it to make it a little bit bigger. And we need to cut now the bottom of the heart, because this we're not going to need it, plus it's going to be hidden from the mouth as well. Now we're going to make the mouth, and we need to roll it on each side with our fingers to make it smaller, leaving the middle part a little bit bigger. Cut the mouth from here to here and make a curved line. Now we need to open this line, lift the mouth up, and then with a leaf shaper, and let's give a little bit of shape like this. Let's make a dot at the end of the mouth, and another one in here as well. So now we can put it on the head, and let's press it and keep it curved. Now we're going to make the eyes, and we're going to use a straw which I have pressed to make an oval. So let's draw the eyes. I don't know why, but they're not as much as oval as I expected, but we're going to work on it with our small ball tool and try to make an oval as much as possible. Once we're happy with our ovals, we're going to insert 2 white ovals of modeling paste, and then we're gonna press it. We can now add 2 small black pieces of balls, and then we're going to press them, both looking on the inside. And with a leaf shaper, let's try to make these pupils a little bit wider as well. Once we're happy with them, we can add 2 tiny, really tiny bit of white fondant, and then press a little bit again. To make the eyebrows, let's make a thin strip using some black paste, and then let's cut it in the middle. First make them a little bit thinner, and then apply them onto the head, just above the eyes. One more thing that we need to do is to add the little nose that we're going to put here. And we're going to make a kind of oval, and then we're going to add a small oval of black paste. And I don't know why, but I think the Mickey Mouse nose is really cute, and it does make a whole difference on his head. To make the tongue, we're going to need an oval of red fondant. We're going to press it and then put it inside the mouth. To make the cute ears that the Mickey Mouse has, we're going to need 2 balls, and then we're going to press them. Then we're going to insert a wire in the middle, and you can use a cocktail stick as well. I do prefer to use wires because they're actually a little bit thinner. And this is all, but you can use which one you prefer. Now let's put the ears inside the head. I want one to be over here, and carefully let's insert the wire. Very gentle. I cannot do it with my fingers anymore, so I'm going to use the scissors instead. Let's put the left ear as well in exactly the same way. First inserting the wire with my fingers and then using the scissors. Before adding the head, we need to cut the cocktail stick as it is too long. And once the head is dry, we can put it very carefully onto the cocktail stick. Now let's move on making the arms and hands as well. So we need to roll some black fondant like a sausage, then we're gonna fold in half and then cut it so that we're going to have the same size for each arm. At this point, I'm going to insert a wire inside the arm and then take it out, and I'm gonna show you in a minute why I've just done this. And I'm doing the same thing for the other arm as well. Insert the wire inside the body where the arms are going to be. This one on the right is going to be longer because this one is going to support not only the arm but the balloon as well. And then holding the wire on the left as well, I'm going to insert the right arm. And now, while I'm inserting the left arm instead, I'm going to hold the right wire as well. And make sure you do this always when the fondant of the body is quite dry. So now, really careful, I'm going to bend this wire, and now I'm going to bend the wire a little bit more for holding the balloon. Now hold the wire on the right and put your thumb underneath the arm and then bend it really carefully. Now we can press the top of the arms to stick them onto the body. Now let's draw a line on the left and a line on the right arm. Now let's move on making the hands, and we're going to use a bigger ball and a really small one. And on the small one we're going to make a hole with our ball tool. Now we're going to leave the small one and we're going to work on the big one, and we're going to press it first and pinching, and this is where the wrist is going to be. And now we're going to make 3 cuts because, as you well know, Mickey Mouse has only 4 fingers. What we want to do now is to pick each finger and then roll it, pulling it a little bit as well. draw 3 lines at the top of the hand. 1, 2 and 3. I've already put both pieces of hand together, and now I'm gonna put it onto the body like this. I really thought the idea of Mickey Mouse giving a balloon to Minnie Mouse, and I thought to make a red balloon because he's in love with her, but I really wanted to make something different, and instead of using a heart-shaped balloon, I thought to make a Mickey Mouse balloon. To insert them this time, I'm using a cocktail stick because I wanted to show you that you can do it exactly in the same way, really. With a small ball, first of all, I'm going to make a drop, and with the smallest ball tool that I have, I made a hole in it. And to insert it to the ball, first of all, I'm making a hole inside the balloon, and then I apply the little piece inside the balloon itself. And finally, I'm using some white edible paint to add some shadows on the balloon. And now I'm going to leave the balloon to dry before putting onto the wire, because it needs to dry. It could take 1 day or even 2 days or a couple of days, and it all depends on the humidity that you have in your house. Now let's make together Minnie. First of all, we're going to start with the shoes. We need to make first of all a drop, and then we're going to press at the top of it. At the top of the shoe, we're going to make an oval hole, and at the bottom we're going to add a ball, which is actually the heel. So press a little bit and that's fine. Now we're going to make the legs. Let's roll a little bit, and we need to leave this bit smaller and this bit a bit bigger. The part that it is a little bit bigger, we need to press it like this, and then we can put it on the hole of the shoe. Now I want to add a really cute and nice bow on the shoe, and I'm using these 2 small pieces of lighter pink fondant. And the shape that I need to make is between a drop, but really it is a triangle. Then I'm gonna press it on top of it, and then I'm gonna put it here at the front top of the shoe. Draw 2 lines on each bow. I really love these shoes. I think they are really cute. And in the middle, I'm adding a smaller ball. Now we need to fix the shoes and the legs onto the dummy using a long cocktail stick, which again is going to support the whole body. Let's put now the second leg next to it. And on the inside of it, really careful, I'm going to insert a cocktail stick. To make the body, we're going to make an oval first. And then press it. And roll it in the middle to make the waistline. Gentle insert the body onto the long cocktail stick, like this. To make the skirt instead, we're going to cut a long rectangle, and we're gonna put it around the body. And you might need to push it a little bit up. Once you get at the back, squeeze the 2 pieces together and go back at the front. Lift a little bit up the skirt with your fingers, with the leaf shaper, any tool you have. And once you're done, you can rid of the fondant at the back. Cut any excess fondant as well if it is too long, like mine. And then to remove this hem that it is at the back, Keep rubbing it with the leaf shaper, and you might use as well, if it doesn't give you a nice finish, you might want to use as well just a little bit of butter. And on the last bit, you might want to put your finger on the inside so that it is better to rub it with it, as it doesn't have anything underneath instead. As it is a little bit too big at the moment, I've decided to roll it at the waistline. To make the belt, I've decided to use the same color as the shoes, so it is a darker pink color, which I think it is really lovely in contrast with the lighter pink. And then we're gonna put it around the waistline. To make all the dots on the skirt, I'm going to use a straw and some white fondant. Let's now apply all the dots on the skirt. To make a mini set, we're going to need a quite big bowl of black modeling paste, and then I'm gonna make a little bit oval on the sides and then push it at the top as well. Let's cut a heart of flesh fondant and then put it at the front of the head and stick it to it. Then if you want, you might remove the last bit of the heart shape, as no one is gonna see it. To make the mouth, we're going to use the same flesh color as we used for the face, and we're gonna roll it on each side, leaving the middle one a little bit bigger. And now we can put it at the front, just where the heart finish, and curve a little bit, pressing it to make sure that it stands still. Cut the mouth from this cheek to the other one, and then join the lines together. Let's open it up and let's clean a little bit with a smoother. To make the thong, I'm using a pink color, and then I put it inside of it and I'm adding a line on it. Now we can press back the mouth and add 2 dots on each side of the cheek. With the ball tool, we're going to make 2 ovals for the eyes, and I'm going to fill them with some white fondant, pressing a little bit to make sure that they stick and that they are nice and wide. For the pupils, add 2 small ovals of black fondant at the bottom, looking in the middle, and make them wider using a leaf shaper. Add as well 2 tiny balls of white fondant, again looking in the middle. To make the nose, let's make an oval, and then we can add an oval of black fondant. But at the moment, as you can see, it still looks very masculine, so we're going to add some eyelashes. And to do so, I'm using a very small brush and then some black gel paste. Before using it, I always remove some extra painting, and then let's paint around the eye. And then we can paint 3 eyelashes as well for each eye. Now that the head has been done, we can add the ears, which are really easy, as there are 2 balls of black fondant, and we're going to press them, and we're going to insert them with a piece of wire. We're going to finish off the head making the bow which it is of the same color as the shoes and the belt as well, so that it's going to look all matchy. And to make the bow, we're going to make a 2 triangles first, then we can put them one next to the other, and then push it to make a little bit more pointed, especially at the top. Draw 2 lines, and then add a small sausage in the middle of it. Make 2 lines to make it more realistic and nicer. Press the bow in the middle and add more lines on each side of the bow. Finally, we're going to add some small dots of white fondant, which are a bit smaller than the one that we used for the dress. Let's put it now at the top of the head, on the ears. I think it looks really nice already. I was nearly going to forget about it, but I just realized that we need to add the collar on the dress. Now that the head is dry, we can add it to the rest of the body. To make the arms, first of all, we're going to make a sausage, bend in half and cut it, and keep rolling it a little bit and make sure that they have the same size. To make the sleeve, I'm using a quite big drop of light pink, and at the bottom of it I'm adding a small ball of the same color and making a hole in it so that it's going to be easier to insert the arm. And as it is ready, we can put it onto the body now. Let's make the hands now. And we need to press an oval white fondant, and on one side just keep pressing it, which is where the wrist is going to be. And then we need to make a free cut as Minnie has 4 fingers. Roll each finger, just pulling a little bit, just a tiny bit. Then we have a ball that we're going to press it and then put it onto the hand. Also, we need to add 3 lines, 1, 2, and 3. Before adding the left arm, first of all I want to put the hand onto Minnie's face like this, because I want to a kind of a surprise look on her face. So now we can add the other arm as well, and then bend it and insert the arm onto the hand. And the other hand I've decided to put on the waistline. Finally, I'm going to add some shadow on the Minnie and Mickey Mouse nose, and as well with some edible dust I'm adding some color on their cheeks as well. And a tiny bit on their mouth as well. Now Mickey Mouse should be quite ready, quite dry, and I should be able to add the balloon. But if you want to make sure that your balloon sticks, as this is a really tricky part, you can glue it on Mickey Mouse ears, just like I did, because I wasn't actually sure if it was dry enough or not yet. Hi, I've just bought this balloon for you. Oh, thank you very much, Mickey. You are so adorable. So I really hope that you liked this video, and if so, don't forget to thumbs up. So I might do something similar again, but in the meantime, while you're waiting for my next video, you might want to have a look at these two videos as well. And as usual, guys, be creative and have fun. See you next time. Bye bye.